What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday, March the 24th, and that means it's time for my news radar. As always, this channel is community supported, so please do take a moment and consider becoming a member by clicking that join button down below here on YouTube, or maybe becoming a patron on Patreon. If you can't do either of those things, simply like, share, subscribe. Anything like that will help a ton. Thank you. So let's get out of the way a news story that I saw all over the subreddit for the Surface Duo, in the Facebook group, on Twitter, etc. A lot of people were having some issues over the last couple of days with their Surface Duo. Apps crashing like crazy. People were taking to these forums, to these social media platforms and saying, oh my God, Microsoft has screwed something up again. Everything on my phone is crashing. Well, what I want to tell you is, one, it should be fixed. Simply go to your Play Store and update everything that you have there that needs to be updated. In particular, an app called Android System Web View, because that was the problem. And two, no, this was actually not a Duo problem. I know that it's easy for us to assume my Duo's crashing a lot. Oh, it must be my Duo doing Duo things. But no, this was actually a widespread Android problem. So let's talk about it here a little bit more in depth. Android Central here. If your Android phone is suffering from frequent app crashes, you should update this now. So basically what happened is Google pushed out an update to the Android System Web Viewer, which is a component that a ton of apps actually use this tool. And whatever they pushed out was broken because it was causing apps to crash constantly. In fact, my Z Fold 2 over here, which is very much not a Surface Duo, was doing the same thing. It was crashing constantly when I was going into TikTok, Reddit, etc., etc. Crash, 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 crash. Super annoying, super irritating. So what you had to do to begin with is you could go into the Android System Web View and you could just uninstall all updates and that would fix it. But now they've actually pushed out a subsequent update, so you're good to update it again, and this problem should be taken care of. So I just wanted to get this one out of the way quickly because I did see it all over social media, and you know, for once, this wasn't Microsoft's fault. This is something totally unrelated to the Surface Duo and was actually widespread. All right, so into the gaming world here, this is quite an interesting news story. So we've heard rumors for a long time now that Nintendo is working on a Switch predecessor, a Switch Pro, perhaps something that will use a newer Tegra chipset, use DLSS to output a 4K, all sorts of cool things like that. We've also seen companies like GPD produce Windows gaming handhelds that have been quite cool. Well, now Qualcomm is going to give us some sort of an in-between the two, because the rumors are that Qualcomm is planning on a Android-powered Nintendo Switch knockoff. And yes, this is that Qualcomm, the Qualcomm that makes these Snapdragon processors, about something that's going to be packing like a Snapdragon 888, some crazy specs, and proper gaming controls. So David Ruddick here did have the scoop on this one, so kudos to you here on Android Police. So he's saying he was able to see some non-final images of this Qualcomm Switch clone, although he's not able to share them. You know, sources sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. But what he's saying here is it has a detachable Joy-Con type controller on the left and right side, which he says resemble a thicker, bulkier smartphone. So the actual console itself, a thick, bulky smartphone with detachable Joy-Con style devices. And of course, being a bit thicker, he mentions here, could allow better thermals, which could allow better performance. A 6,000 milliamp hour battery is also going to be on board, which is a massive battery. They're going to have Qualcomm's quick charge technology. So already we're seeing some things that the Switch does not have. We're going to have faster charging and a massive battery. The Switch's battery, I believe, is like 4,300 milliamp hours. So going to 6,000, big giant jump. Like the Switch, Qualcomm's portable will support display out capabilities to an external TV or monitor. And while he said it was unclear if that was going to use mini HDMI or if the USB charging port would serve double duty, I would imagine it's going to be the USB-C port. There's no reason having an additional port when your USB-C can 100% do this. Android 12 with a custom launcher on board. And while he says it's unclear if they're going to partner with Google Stadia or NVIDIA's GeForce Now, anything like that, the fact that it's running Android means you should be able to use these apps just fine. And he does go on to say that they're targeting Q1 of 2022. So, you know, we're probably going to get another, whatever the past the 888 is going to be, probably going to be what's going to be in this thing. And they are targeting $300, which is an extremely reasonable price. Now, I wonder at that price what sort of phone features we're going to have. Is there going to be a camera at all? Is there going to be 5G on board? Is this going to be Wi-Fi only? Is this going to be truly a handheld game system. So there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, if they do go with a top-of-the-line, newest Qualcomm Snapdragon, it would be, in theory, I believe, more powerful than the Nintendo Switch. But keep in mind, the Switch has a huge advantage here, and that's that games being developed for Switch are largely being developed specifically for the Nintendo Switch, which means they can be optimized to a much higher degree. It's the same reason why a game like The Last of Us, which came out on the PS3 initially, could look better than pretty much any game on PC, even though the PC you're playing it on is quite a bit more powerful than, at that point, the aging PlayStation 3. It's all about optimization. So having a ton of raw horsepower, but games that are just Android games, which means that they're being made to run on everything from the Fold to the Duo to cheap old phones, means optimization is not really a thing there. However, emulators and things like that could be absolutely incredible. There are people that are still using things like their old PSP just for emulators. There are people buying emulator consoles for $100 a pop just to emulate games. And something like this could do that in a far superior way than just about anything on the market, with the ability to then, on top of that, play all sorts of Android games. And then, since it's running Android, things like Stadia, Game Pass, and things like that should also work just fine on something like this, unless it's something that gets locked out for one reason or another. Personally, this sounds like a hacker's dream. This sounds like a Nintendo Switch that comes pre-rooted, essentially, and just ready to install whatever you want to install on it, which is a fantastic idea, and I am 100% so here for this. So let's switch gears over to the Microsoft world while still keeping in touch with the gaming world, because there are rumors that Discord is up for sale. If you don't know what Discord is, it's pretty much the chat app for PC gaming. It's a wonderful app. I use it pretty much every day to communicate with my friends while I am getting far too irritated playing Call of Duty Warzone and the like. And its popularity has exploded through the pandemic because it allows you to do all kinds of really cool things like group video chats. It's what Jesse and I use to do our podcast. I actually film through Discord. It's a really, really superb app. So it's up for sale. So what's the big news? What's the crazy part about this? Well, the crazy part about this is that Microsoft is in talks, reportedly, to buy Discord for another $10 billion with a B dollars. Now, why is Discord worth $10 billion? Well, it's got over 140 million monthly users and 300 million registered accounts. It looks like it may have doubled its value in under a year to $7 billion in December. So its value's probably continued to go up rapidly. Wall Street Journal is estimating that the company has brought in $130 million in 2020, primarily from sales of its subscription service called Nitro, $100 a year, that gives you all sorts of additional features into Discord. Now again, with this one, there's a lot to unpack here as well. Obviously, we all know that Microsoft purchased Skype many years ago, and that has not gone particularly well. Skype was the way that gamers talked when they played games for a lot of years. Well, now that's Discord. So there's the fear, will Microsoft buy Discord and then in some way ruin it as well? I certainly hope not. But there are some bright things to this. What sort of tech does Discord have that they could bring over to Teams? Could Discord serve as Teams, but for regular people? Is that kind of what they're thinking about in terms of positioning it? What about having Discord on your Xbox console? For me, it is super frustrating that I can play Warzone with my friends who play on Xbox, but in order to talk to them, I have to use Warzone's built-in chat functionality, which sucks. I have to use the Xbox chat functionality and then leave my Discord, which also sucks. If Discord could just be on the Xbox and everybody could just use the same chat thing, that would be absolutely fantastic for cross-platform gaming, which is where we're all headed towards, where Microsoft seems to be really intensely pushing towards. Discord also has a lot of streaming technology in terms of just game streaming. So what will they potentially use with that? Probably not a lot, but Microsoft did just have to shut down their own streaming Twitch competitor Mixer. So is there some tech in there that they might want to try to leverage in some way? There's a lot to this idea. Personally, if all we get from this is Discord stays the same, but it comes to the Xbox, I'll be 100% for this because it would solve a ton of issues for me. Suddenly, a lot of my friends that I don't play with enough, I could then play with much more easily and be able to talk to them. So I'd love to know what you guys think about the idea of Microsoft buying Discord in the comments down below. So guys, that's all the news I have for you today. Be sure to check back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the next news radar. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.